Here's how we spent our money last month as a family of 5 living in Phoenix, Arizona. If you're new here, hey, I'm Marissa. Welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about family finance and ways you can budget, save, and make more money for your family. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any new videos. So this is our budget this month. I do want to let you know that this budget template is actually one that you can get yourself on my shop. I will leave a link to that down below in the description box. It works in Excel, Google Sheets, all the things. You just buy it once and you can use it every single month forevermore. So this is the budget template that I use every month. So the first thing that we have here is Jacob's income and then my income. My husband Jacob is a W-2 employee. He works in marketing and he also does work from home, which is so nice. And then I myself have my own small business as a content creator and bookkeeper. I'm also a stay-at-home mom. My kids are 4, 2, and almost 5 months, so I'm busy with them, but I do like to find times of when they're asleep that I can get a little work done, and so I do pay myself a salary out of my business each month, so that's what you see here. The other thing I do want to mention is other income. We have here $126.94. This was interest that was earned on our high yield savings account, and I know I share it every time, but I will shout it from the rooftops because I wish I would have signed up for a high yield savings account sooner, because this is literally just free interest that my savings earned me in a high yield savings account, which would have earned me a couple pennies in a regular savings account. So if you don't have a high yield savings account yet, go check it out. I personally use CIT Bank. I will leave a link to them down below in the description box so you can check them out there. I use them because they have some of the highest interest rates around compared to the market. And yeah, this month my savings earned $126.94. They are FDIC insured. There's no fees, and I've had a really great experience with them for the last over 18 months. And I recommend them personally to family and friends. I'll show you down below in this budget in our savings section of what I keep in our high yield savings account, but it's a great way to let your emergency fund earn you some extra interest as well as any other short-term savings goals that you have going on. They have 2 different kinds of accounts. A platinum savings account, which you need a $5,000 minimum to have that account, but it has a higher interest rate. And then they have a savings connect account, which you only need $100 in, and it has a little bit lower rate, but still those are both really great rates for the market. So let your money earn you free money that you can put into your budget each month. Go check out CIT Bank and sign up for a high yield savings account. So the grand total for our income is $9,302.08. And now let me show you where we spent all of this money this month. So the first thing that we have is our expenses. We have our tithe in African New Life, which I have blocked off, but we do give to our church, and we support 2 children in Rwanda through African New Life. Next is our mortgage. This is our last month at it being at $2,300 because we had a special 1-year rate buy down for the first year of our home. We bought in November 2023, and obviously rates were high. We did a rate buy down, so we bought down the rate even more, and then we had a special extra 1-year buy down to buy it down another percentage point. So it was nice for the first year, but we knew that it was only going to be a first year thing. We do not have a variable rate mortgage. It's a conventional loan. This is just an extra special thing that we did when we signed up for the loan. So it was nice, especially for that first year, because you have a lot of extra expenses when you first move into a house and things that we had to do. So it was nice to have that extra margin in our budget that we could use to get other things done for our home. But yeah, $2,305 was our mortgage this month. HOA is $130. Natural gas, we spent $31.95. Electric was $149.52. We are on a budget billing plan with our energy provider, and we are in Phoenix, so obviously summers are more expensive with electric, and so there can be a big swing in that. So we did sign up for budget billing to even that out. I don't know how long we'll do this for because they just changed our amount for budget billing to be $235 for next month. And when I look at the full year, $235 is not the average of the month. So I'm going to give this a couple more months, and then I may just switch back to paying the normal amount that we use in energy each month. Next we have is trash, which is $22, and then water was $105.05. Our internet went up to $60 this month, and then our phones was $145. My husband and I are on my family's plan, and we just pay for our line. And there were a couple extra things that were included in that, like we pay for a portion of the Netflix subscription, and like I sign up for Apple Music. So this is our phone bill, but also has some little extras in it too. Next we have is insurance. This is for our cars and our homeowners insurance, which we have together with the same insurance company, so it's like a bundle and save situation. So I was expecting $272.90, but it was actually $194 because every year our insurance company does like a member rebate if they have extra profit, which is wonderful. So we saved $78 from that, which is really nice. Next we have is life insurance. We have a term policy on myself and my husband Jacob. That is $52.89. This for groceries was a bit more. So we budgeted $650 and we actually spent $811. So I'm not sure if we just need to increase our grocery budget here a little bit more, but it was a bit more this month. I also think that the holidays play into that. There were some extra things that we spent money on because of the holidays, so that could be it too. Next we have is eating out. We budgeted $150. We spent $149.03. I don't think it can get much more perfect than that. Then we have gas. We budgeted $150 and we actually spent $35.60. This means we filled up once this month. We do keep gas on hand for emergencies and things like that. And the gas that we had on hand needed to be used up. So my husband did fill up our cars with the gas reserves that we had. So that is why this was significantly lower. Next we have is fun. We budgeted $50 and we spent $45.99. This month we did like a Christmas Christmas light drive-through thing. So that's what that was. And I think that was about it that went into this. It was expensive, but it was fun for the kids. Next we have is miscellaneous. We budgeted $100 and we actually spent $137.91. And then our Roth IRAs. We finished maxing out our 2024 Roth IRAs in December. We put $1,400 into our Roth IRAs to max out mine and my husband's, and now we're working on 2025s. Next we have is college. I have this blocked off for privacy too, but we do contribute to our 3 sons' 529 college savings plans. So as a grand total, we spent $7,014.49 on expenses or money that went out of our bank account this month. So now let me show you the savings section. The first thing that we have in our savings section here is our emergency fund, which we do have fully funded at 6 months of necessary expenses saved. Then we have property taxes. We set aside $275 each month for property taxes. And next, this is a cool thing, property insurance, a negative $801, because I was saving for property insurance all year long, setting aside this money, thinking that it was going to be due. But the great thing is that I didn't realize that in escrow, when we bought our house a year ago, that the first year of property insurance was actually prepaid for with escrow. So we didn't owe it. So $801 is what we had saved. So I just zeroed out this account and brought this money back into our budget to put it elsewhere into our budget. And like you saw earlier, our insurance payment, I didn't know if it was going to be an annual thing or a every 6 month thing, but it's just a monthly thing that's the same payment with our car insurance. So that's why I have that up in the top section, in the expense section of our budget, because we're paying it every month. So it feels pretty good to get an extra $800 that we accidentally saved. Next we have is taxes. Since I am self-employed, I do set aside money in a tax fund and I pay quarterly taxes, and we have that money sitting there when we need to pay taxes at the end of the year. And then opportunity fund, this is like extra savings that we have, and obviously we didn't have that this month, but if we end up having extra money to save, that's where we're putting it. So all of these funds are in a light blue color because this is what I keep in our high yield savings account. And I just keep track of this in my budget spreadsheet here to know how much I have in this account. I have this blocked off for privacy, but I have a beginning balance and ending balance part of this template so I can see how much is in each fund depending on what we put into it and what was spent out of it. Then those balances update, and this is in the template that you can get as well. So I just look at this ending balance total. I can highlight these and see what the grand total is to know how much I should have in my high yield savings account, and that's how I keep track of that. I don't want to be pulling out of my high yield savings account like in and out multiple times throughout the month, but instead it's a great place to keep money that we need to have in savings just to sit there in case of emergency, or some short-term savings goals of things that we're just saving for each month, like property taxes. So that's where that goes. Next we have is personal spending. Jacob gets $150 each month for personal spending. He spent $95, and then I get $75, and the only reason why I get less is because I'm just not as much of a spender and I spend way more on the kids. And then I spent $117 this month out of my personal spending. So we have extra giving we put $50 into each month, and this month we spent $36.08 from this fund. So one really cool thing is living in Arizona for Arizona state tax, you can actually get dollar for dollar tax credits by giving to certain organizations. If you live in Arizona, definitely ask your tax accountant about this because it's really awesome. It's basically like being able to designate where you want your tax dollars to go. You can give them to certain charitable organizations up to a certain amount. So I did this at the end of the year, donated to those organizations. Once we get our refund from Arizona, I'll then put this money back into our giving fund. But yeah, that's what I used it from, and it's a really great program to be able to do that. And again, consult your own tax advisor so you know how much you can contribute based on your situation. But yeah, we got to do some extra giving this month. Next we have is gifts. We put $50 into that each month, and we spent $85 on gifts. Clothing, we budgeted $300 and then we actually put $250 in. We were actually negative in this fund from last month because there were a couple things that we had gotten for clothing. Next we have is vacation. We set aside $200 each month for vacation. We are planning to go to Disneyland here in the spring. I'm super excited about that, and we're saving for that trip. Next we have is Christmas. We put $600 into the Christmas fund this month to finish off all of our Christmas expenses, and we spent $279.74 in December for Christmas. Other things I had purchased earlier in the year, and we are already starting to save for Christmas 2025. Next we have is medical. We put $533.33 into our medical fund each month. We do have a high deductible health plan with an HSA, and we max out the HSA every year, but we actually don't like to use the money from our HSA. The best way that you can utilize an HSA is to put the money in, invest the dollars, and let it grow and have that triple tax advantage. So that is what we do with our HSA. We don't touch it, and we use it more as a retirement vehicle, and then we pay for our medical expenses out of pocket. So every month I save money into a medical fund that we can use to pay for those medical expenses without touching our HSA. Next we have is dues and subs. We put $100 a month into this, and this is why I have this fund, because November, December is always our heavy subscription time. I don't know how it worked out that we had all of our subscriptions come up in this time frame, but it does. So we spent $606.59 on dues and subs in December. This included our Costco subscription, our Walmart Plus subscription, and a couple other things I don't even remember right now, but it was a heavy, expensive month for dues and subs. Okay. Next we have is car maintenance. We put $75 a month into, and then house maintenance. I ended up putting every extra dollar that we had into this fund because we spent $579.69 on house maintenance this month. One of the things that we did that wasn't necessary, but we kind of felt like it, was a new garage door motor. We have a brand new house, but the garage door is so loud, and since it's on the ceiling of the garage, it would vibrate and shake the bedrooms above, and we just didn't want to worry about that because it was very loud. So we got a new one that's like a side mount, so it's basically silent and also doesn't shake the floor above. So again, it wasn't a full necessity, but it was a very nice to have thing. And then my husband, he's very handy, he installed it all himself, so we did spend a bit of money on that. Next we have his household. We put $100 into that, and we spent $271.18 on household. This is for things like toilet paper, which Costco was just doing their sale on Charmin, so we stocked up on that. Toilet paper, paper towels, detergent, soap, all those kinds of things would go to household. Next we have is kids. We put $300 into this, and we spent $792.69 on kids related stuff. So this includes things like my 4-year-old's preschool, swim lessons, diapers, clothing, toys, anything for the kids because they're kids goes here. This was an inexpensive month for the kids, so not great, but okay. So next we have the grand total. We put $2,287.59 into savings. And so you can see here our total out was $9,302.08. And the difference, which should be zero, the difference between our income compared to all of our expenses, debt, and savings is zero, which means we balanced our budget. And that is how we ended up spending our money this month in December. And I almost forgot to show you our net worth update, but here that is. It was not a great month for the net worth, but that's okay. So our total retirement, we have now $226,000 in retirement. We contributed to it. Actually, this number is not correct because we put in to our Roth IRAs, my husband's 401k. We contributed to it, but it was not a great month for the market. So we actually lost $3,800, even though we still contributed to this. Our house is at $625, emergency fund at $30, and then extra cash that we have in our sinking funds. We have our HSA at $20, and then our Highlander, I will periodically check the value of that on Kelley Blue Book like every quarter. So this went down to now $25,000, and then our Kia Carnival we have now at $45,000. So our assets went down in value, went down $9,000, and then our mortgage, we did pay our minimum of our mortgage, so we put a whole $375 to principal. Not really great with interest rates being so high and it being like the first little bit of the loan on your mortgage, and not a lot goes to principal at the moment. But so our balance went down. So our total net worth is at $597. So we crossed the 600,000 mark last month, and then this month we are back down. So that is our net worth update for December 2024, and that is our overall financial look at the last month of the year. We're excited for 2025 and everything that's to come. Don't forget to follow along for more budget videos, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.